Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the real estate entrepreneur, Omar Alfaro. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Michael? What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are all well.
Yeah, I hope you had a good Father's Day, my friend.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Hopefully
man.
you did too.
Yeah, every day Saturday. Even
I knew you were going to say that.
It's no complaints on my end. Hey, the first thing we're going to undoubtedly do for probably the next year or so is talk about your market. It is definitely slowing down in different pockets. I'm wondering if you're feeling any different. I suspect there's a lot of FOMO. I just interviewed somebody who's shopping in Vegas, and they're saying Vegas market is adding 100 listings a day.
Michael, 100 listings a day. That's a lot of houses, man.
That's a lot of houses. So what's going on in your market? Obviously much smaller than Vegas, but what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty close to the 1,200 mark of houses for sale.
Wow.
In our specific area, which is the High Desert, Victorville, Apple, Hesperia, Barstow, Palmdale, or not Palmdale, but Phelan.
If you were to guess, what's the population of all of that combined? Like 100,000, 300,000?
Oh, no, more than that. I would say combined.
Yeah, all together.
Probably 4.
Okay, so 400. Okay, that's
it's a solid number.
Yeah, Vegas is probably what, 2 or 3 million. I have no idea. Actually, I'll
more.
Yeah, I'll search that. So tell us what's going on in your market. I'm just curious how big Vegas is. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, the market here, I mean, it's, there's a lot of fear missing out. A lot of these sellers are putting their properties on the market. But what's crazy is that I'm seeing these houses come up on the market, but I guess the advice from the realtors are not pricing them accordingly, because then a week or two later, they're dropping the prices. And it's like, not unless we don't know or gauge where the floor's at yet. And I think that's probably what's happening, is because the more and more houses come on the market, the more and more competition that we're going to have. So what you thought it was a month ago, now with another chunk of houses options that buyers have, it's going to make things a little more challenging. So because of that, there's still a lot of price reductions. And I've gotten like literally 4 or 5 cancellations, because remember I told you before that people were canceling and then they're finding a different product that might be a little bit cheaper, might be a little bit more upgraded, might be a little bit, they might offer some closing cost credit. It's starting to happen a little more.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big ass office.
Yeah.
So, but I know I have a good pulse on it and kind of where we're going. Yeah. So it's an interesting time right now, for sure.
Yeah. So I got the answer. Vegas, roughly speaking, again, a quick Google search, 2.8 million people. So 7x bigger. We're guessing. We're guessing. Yeah. And again, folks, I remember last week, you're basically adding 100 units a week, roughly. And again, you have a playlist. People can go back and look. So it's kind of the same rate, right? Vegas is 7x bigger. They're doing 100 a day. You're doing 100 a week. Kind of the same ratio, right?
558,000 people in the High Desert.
Oh, there you go. So it's 5.5 times bigger. So there you go. So it's interesting because, again, this is playing out exactly as I expected. What we are having now is FOMO, who is clearly, without question, left the buyers and gone to the sellers. What you're suffering through right now is noise. Like for 30 days, 45 days, we are going to all have noise in the system. What do I mean by noise? You're going to have a predominant of listings come out at what I call wish pricing. Either the agent's not strong enough, or they both agree that, hey, we'll try it, we'll see it, blah, 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 but get ready for a price drop at day 15 or day 14 or whatever. Eventually, what's going to happen is we'll get to day 30 or day 45, and then we're going to find out who's motivated.
Right.
Real estate moves a lot slower than people want. So at day 45, I'm just making this up, it might be day 60. You're going to have people who have listings that have already had at least one price drop. They might have had 2, depending on how big the first price drop is. Let's say they've had 2. Then they're going to get their agent to come in front of them, and they're going to have a hard conversation. They're going to say one of 2 things. One, you suck. The market sucks. Nobody gets how special my house is. Take it off. We're not selling.
Correct.
Right? Cancellation. Or 2, they're going to finally say, what number moves this, because they have mentally checked out. And then they're going to take that number and they're probably going to lower it 10 grand. We are weeks, months away from that discussion, but that is what is ahead of us in markets like the high desert, like in Vegas. This is how the real estate market just moves. It's a lot slower than people want. So that's what I think is coming. What do you think of all that?
I'll be honest, Michael, you hit it on the nail. What's crazy is that weeks will go by, months will go by, and then you're going to have that conversation. And as an example, I'm looking at my own, properties that we have on the market, and I started off at a price, and then I'm like, okay, it was still competitive, but because we're used to the quick offers that come in, you got to make that adjustment. And I'm like, okay. And we know what I'm looking at right now, Michael, just as an investor perspective.
Sure.
I'm looking at, and it's funny, I might be cheating a little bit, but I'm looking at my profit margin and I'm adjusting the price of when I sell it. So I have a graph, okay, that I pull up with all of my investments, and my projected, profits are on one side.
Sure.
So I look at the resale side, and literally over the last, and because I'm still human, over the last 2 months, I've dropped $300,000 of just of like money that if the market didn't change, that would have been the projection. So I'm looking at it like, okay, if I sold it for this, I still like this. Doesn't mean that's what I listed it for, right?
Sure.
I just have a bottom number. So the other day I get an offer and I was about to lower the price 10,000. I get an offer for 20 grand less with some closing cost credit. And then I look at my graph and I'm like, that's exactly where I thought I was going to end up selling it.
Yeah.
Sold.
Done.
So before I did that, like I'm already, figuring it out, but most sellers are not doing this.
No.
Most agents don't even tell the clients, hey, what's the number that you need in your pocket? And you said it, weeks and months will go by before they have that conversation, instead of anticipating before something happens. And then they got to react. This, you're anticipating it. So am I. And could we have done it a little bit sooner? Sure, I probably could have, because I'm in that flipping game.
Yeah.
But you, on the other hand, you already anticipated for a minute. So
yeah, I am curious,
awesome.
when you're sitting and looking at, Omar, the real estate entrepreneur, how many listings do you have? How many projects do you have ongoing for flips right now?
We have 6 projects going for flips.
Okay.
And
listings
we have, I think we have 12.
So you have 18 units you're carrying right now. Like
12 listings from other.
No, okay. So
other
your
sellers.
your portfolio.
My portfolio, we have 6 listed and
so
6
6
in
listed
the pipe.
and 6 projects. So you have 12.
Yes, 12.
Okay. So again, what people don't realize again in the game is that you have, I'm guessing you pay your lenders every month, so you have holding costs on 12 loans.
That's correct.
Right. So that's a stroke.
Uh-huh.
So again, what I would tell flippers in this game is, and I think we've had this conversation today, is about getting smaller and
100%.
being pickier on your buy, right? If you were going to buy it at X, you've got to buy it at X minus now, because your hold time, it's not that flipping is not going to be profitable. It's you've got to plan for an extra 2 to 3 months of hold time.
At least,
right?
At least.
So you have to buy it better. And we're going to talk about this in episode number 2. I don't think people are watching their cash flow enough. So I think some people are going to get got. And yeah. So last thing, if you're looking to buy or sell, actually, one more question about the market.
Yeah.
Sellers are coming out of the woodwork. What's happened to buyers? Have buyers gotten scared? Have buyers been declined? Because like if we've gotten 50% more sellers, but we lost 50% of buyers, that's a horrible ratio.
Well, check this out. On the buy side, people still need to buy, right? It's a 6.25% interest rate on a 30-year fixed, which is high. The thing is, if there's only a few buyers out there that could qualify for that payment, okay?
Yeah.
Just perspective for everyone that's listening. A 3% $700,000 house is now a 6.25 $450,000 house.
Yeah, for the same.
Do the
payment.
math.
Yeah.
Same payment, $450,000.
Yeah.
So you think the market's gonna slow down and prices are dropping for people to afford in that little circle or that little box? Absolutely. Buyers are still gonna be there, but this is the thing, what I'm seeing, lenders are starting to compete for some of this, for some of these buyers. They're gonna start offering more rate decreases, more credits to buy down rates, to be able to get that buyer to use them. I have 3 buyers that that I'm associated with right now with my assistant. I'm not showing them, but they are out there looking and they're shopping 3 or 4 different lenders, and it's like, why? Okay, what's going on right now?
It's the time.
It's that time. Exactly. So
yeah, this is good. The real estate market is going to crash. Again, I think we talked last week or the week before, transactions in your market are going to get cut in half. Not enough buyers. People are scared about jobs. FOMO. It's just going to be a mess for a couple of years. Right. So
it is. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
In some sense.
Yeah.
But
the deals
scary.
Yeah. The deals that you do in the next 2 years, assuming you've pivoted, which I know you have, but I don't know everybody else has, are going to be some of the best deals you ever do. You just 100%. You have to have that mindset, and you don't need the market to fall 50%. You just need that one seller who wants out, and you just do the deal. It's going to be awesome. Omar, where can people find you?
Guys, go to my website, omaralfaro.com, or follow me on IG at Omar_Alfaro.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.